welcome to this video on the perfect superhero man game. And I do mean superhero man because this character is very generic. You see him in the background. He is very generic, very basic, but this game is basically Superman, but with a lot of cool key details about the gameplay to make it just kind of perfect. Now, first, this game has no health bar. You literally cannot die, but you can get defeated, which is why this game is called Undefeated. If you did not know this game is called Undefeated, you can technically get defeated, but not well just in the open world. The open world, you're meant to just have a blast while beating everyone's ass, kind of thing. It's very, very fun. But, with that, there's a lot of exploration you can do. You can go around, like, these symbols on the mini-map down below, and even the color around the mini-map actually does matter. When there's something going on, it will go red. When there's nothing going on, it will go green to show you that you can go do anything you want to, or that there is a boy that you need to go take care of, or a thing you need to go take care of. Because it could be a boy, or it could be anything. And the best part about this game, and speaking of the devil, there is a couple boys wanting to be rowdy. This game I've only played for like 20 minutes, I'd say, good guesstimation, and this game has already been fucking perfect. The tutorials, the everything is so simple because of how simple this game actually is. It's just run around, have fun as Superman, or Superhero Man. Because right now, I don't have laser eyes, I do have that ability, and, okay. Everything you're seeing does get upgraded over time with the hero point, and that I actually press a button to show. I actually have to press a button to show that so it's not cluttered, and it shows everything you need to. Like, first level, I got the level 1 for hero speed and attack, or hero attack speed, and I believe... Oh, just movement speed and attack speed. And then I got special attack on the second one with an extra bump on both of those attack speeds and movement speeds. Just, this game is absolutely gorgeous. I will show off both types of minigames, at least as of right now, because I wouldn't be surprised because of how that bridge ends funkily, that will open up an entire new area. And speaking of that, this game has no voice lines at all thus far. There's like rumbles, but no actual voice lines. The only things you'll actually see are the very easy, very simple things like this, where it's a pop-up, tells you what you need to do and how to do it. I can actually show that off because that is literally the first thing that you will do for the destruction challenges. Is there the tutorial, and I'll actually try and find the tutorial flight challenge because both these are pretty easy. And with that, when I get to the flight settings or flight challenges, I'll show off settings because settings actually do matter in this game, surprisingly. Now, the normal one is a challenge. This is just meant to be the tutorial showing you off how it functions, but some of them you actually have to go find the objects in the big city where they're going to be on buildings, on the ground. Like, some of these get a little bit challenging. Now, I'm going to go show off the flight one. I believe that's right up here. Just gonna, yep, the tutorial, cool. I'm not going to do that yet. With the challenges, sometimes, and I did actually test this out with a previous challenge, you will want to change your customization options, or your buttons. That shows you every single button for a controller. All these buttons do matter. But when it comes to things like, yeah, that, you can either fly with your look input with camera, or only have the up and down with your buttons. I'm trying to make this more universal because I believe this game is also on PC, and I was just playing this. And on PlayStation 5 specifically, I don't know if it's on PS4 or Xbox, or is this even a PS4 game? I can actually just check that. I can't actually because it doesn't tell me in the... Well, shit. If I... Actually, wait. It'll just pause the recording. Never mind. 1 second. You won't even see anything happen. It is a PS5 game on the PS5. I don't know if you can actually play it on the PS4, but how well it flows, how much is actually going on, I would be surprised if it can actually work on the PS4, given what it actually looks like. How it flows, how it plays, everything's like that is why I don't think it could really work on the PS4 all that well, because of how everything just synergizes together, and how much things could expand, taking that in mind too. With character, you can fight a lot easier and just go from point A to point B a little bit easier. But when it comes to flight challenges like this, you would actually want camera because, and I can actually easily just show off the differences. Character allows you to look up and down while flying to allow you to have, I want to go here. Land down and do what you want to do, that general thing. But with... And it also works with combat, because with character you can do stuff like this, which allows you to have some pretty good combat overall. But with this, it is only where you're looking. Like, I'm trying to punch backwards or sideways, only where I'm looking, which allows you to have some pretty good fast flying overall movement. But when you try and look down, you will go down. So there is some vice versa, or not vice versa, there is some pros and cons vice versa depending on which one you're wanting to do. I just highly suggest figuring out the one you really like to main, and then swapping back and forth if it's applicable. Like here, it's applicable to use the camera if you like using just overall combat. The reason why I'm moving funkily with my camera is because I'm not used to what I'm trying to aim. I'm trying to aim the dude. My view does not actually matter. I'm just trying to aim the dude, and I keep trying to aim my view, which is weird. And speaking of view, something absolutely gorgeous that I want to show off, you can change your view all the way to first person. First person Superman. And speaking of Superman, the point at which this game really becomes a Superman superhero game is when you unlock this thing. This thing will fall out of the sky, you'll get a grand cutscene showing you where it is, but all you have to do is stand near it long enough, and let me show you the animation. It is very loud. It gives you this for 10 minutes. What this is laser beams on a very interesting cooldown. See how that goes from 0 all the way up? That's actually your magazine, basically. Where if that runs out, you have to let it recharge, which I'll show off. I can't actually do it right now. It has to recharge. And now I can do it again. Okay. There is wiggle room for just not going for that, because you can just fly around and not need to use that. But when it comes to fighting scenarios like the missions, because there is multiple missions in this game, I have only done one and the opening mission, technically. This is the second mission you get, which you actually see this dude in the first cutscene, which is pretty cool. I'm going to show off this combat and then go to the next combat scenario that I haven't actually done. That is the M over that away, if you look at the mini-map over that away. And I'm going to go over there and show you that combat dude, because he is very annoying, to say the least. At least without laser beams. You'll see. Trying to fight these dudes without laser beams is pretty interesting, because the AoE of the boom, I don't know how to describe it better than that, because like not the clap, it's more like a wave. That ability doesn't really do a whole lot of damage to them while they have a shield. You'll see. And while you're actually fighting these without having the laser beams, you're meant to do all this, but whenever they have the shield, like he has now, you're actually meant to use your triangle or range attack button. And this also shows off how you can get defeated in this game, because it's not you die, you just lose defending the city, because the city health bar up top right. It's pretty cool how this game functions. It's just a gorgeously well-designed game. Even though I believe it was made by one person, I can just kind of tell just by how it looks. But that in and of itself is not a bad thing. This is just perfection, basically. And the best part is, it's not like Invincible, where the dude dies a whole lot, or gets basically killed a whole lot, so he's not technically invincible. This guy is truly undefeatable. His goal gets defeated to protect the city, but he himself never actually gets defeated, which is why the title actually works. This game is fucking gorgeous. And the best part is, it just feels like Superman. The only downside, and the reason why I can actually play this game very well and talk, is because it's a very simple game to play, but that's not the point of the game. The game is to have an absolute blast. Or the point of the game is to have an absolute blast. So that's not really a bad thing. The best part is you can actually laser beam them while they're flying away, just to have insult and injury, and then flying more, beat their ass even more. This game allows you to just have fun with Superman abilities, and it's amazing. And the reason why I'm not talking about the buttons is because it will actually give you some pretty good tutorials that are literally just hold X and see how you do, kind of thing. Or hold X to get rid of the pop-up, see how you do. My personal favorite type of tutorial that's not hand-holdy or anything like that, it's just do the thing. Hell yeah! Excuse me? So, what? Okay, versus without, and then boom. Damn. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm testing this shit out because this is. I literally just doubled up, which is why I got that. Death blow enable. Okay. So it's sprint, thud. That is the same. Okay. Oh! Okay then. So running through... Ooh... I'm sorry. I'm going back to the tutorial one. I just realized something amazing about this. I believe this was the tutorial one. If it's not, it is cool. Watch this shit. And keep in mind, I just unlocked it. I missed. Not really. Okay, 1 second. Kathud. Damn. Hell yeah. And this is another reason why this game is just perfect. I played the game, unlocked the ability by leveling up, which made the game itself easier because I understood how it functioned. Oh, games are amazing. I cannot wait for the gaming renaissance. And I've talked about this in previous videos. I believe because of how people are being forced to develop their games nowadays, like Activision is not allowed to just make skins and shit. Games that just make skins in general cannot be allowed to do that anymore. They actually have to they have to allow people to just have fun without having to buy so many different things like that. The game renaissance is around the corner, and I mean from the ground up, like how VR is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That will become a more mainstream thing, and different things like that. I'm really looking forward to that day. And now, with all that said, showing you the next boy that was not shown at all. The first boy was shown, and the first boss the first boss I fought was shown, and the first boss you fight in the game is also shown in the first cutscene. This guy was not, though. This guy, though, it ramps up. He can actually do some serious damage to the surroundings because fire. Literally just looking at that, I thought, oh, he's going to do some damage. And he genuinely does. I forgot to lock on. You always have to lock on in a boss fight. Also, something kind of cool about the settings overall. Actually, I can just show you. The thing at the very bottom where you can dash only in a boss fight with that button, you can actually, they changed that, whoever they are, as in the developers, changed that where you can actually dash no matter what. I'm not actually pressing L1 to dash. It should have always been sprint, like typical sprint, because that's basically all it is. Also, with this combat, something that is not specified even in the tutorial, you're actually meant to use the square attack, or the punch attack to get in there, even while they have a shield up. Because you're not meant to punch them while they have a shield. You're meant to use your range attacks, different things like that, but you're meant to use this to get in there to allow you to absolutely tear them up. Like, you're supposed to do this, and then do some range, get in there, that general thing. And the reason why he was such a problem is because I was trying to not use laser beams. And even if I did not just constantly stay on him, he would actually be a serious problem because he did a little bit of damage and he almost got 10% gone. And the coolest thing about this boss fight, he actually gets really hard. Instead of just glowing red, he starts glowing purple. Which I don't know why he does, but I enjoy the color purple. Come here. Only one of those projectiles hit, which is why he only did that amount. I thought that said one. Only one projectile hit, and now he's about to go purple. Stop your shit. I actually want to try out. Boom, motherfucker. Okay. Wah. Alright. Boom, motherfucker. Yeet. Okay, not 2. I need to stop. Need to stop. If it was 2, I would have tried. 3. Ah, shit. I need to try this. Okay. I might get defeated, but I really, really want to try this. So it's zoom, do 1 good thump, follow up. Nope, not that simple. Okay, so 1 good follow up. When he starts flying away again, do another good boom. So it's like, as he's flying away with the shield, you do a good sprint, do the big wind-up death blow, and then do like 3 followed up. And then try to do another good wind-up death blow, or possibly 4 would be enough. I don't know. Feeling out the damage values, because it does have a health bar, the shield itself. The ranged projectiles versus this, 2 different damage values. That general thing. I'm feeling out the damage. You actually have to end it off on a punch. That is amazing. Okay. How long has this video been? Only 16. I really like my videos being an hour because that gives you a lot of things to watch. You can pause it. You can do also different things throughout the time. Ooh, hell yeah. That actually is right. So you can see the difference. This game is perfection. Once my laser beams will run out, I will actually do that mission because I believe this will be another boss fight. And trying to do that with the clap, that ain't happening. Because the reason why I said that ain't happening is because that boy did that amount of damage. Imagine what the next boy's about to do. There's gonna be some ramping. But I'm not gonna just stand here while waiting. I'm gonna fly around. Yep. Can I just supersonic thud? No, okay. The best part about being on ground is, like you saw, there's differences in even basic things like the... I don't want to destroy a whole lot of stuff. You know, over here. And in the combat alone. Like, that alone can give you some pretty good distance, because, keep in mind, even though you stop there and have that big slowdown, the distance you get alone with the big boom, that distance makes up for it. Kind of. Maybe. Boom. Oh, this game is awesome! Even the water ripples! Oh, that's fucking gorgeous. Whoever made this game should continue making games. And, speaking of that, actually, this... Okay, my personal favorite type of games are games that go from 1 to 2, where... Games as in a series, 1 to 2, where the first one is a good... Hell yeah, that's a good visual indicator. Hell, damn! Are a good 1 to 2, where the first one's a good proof of concept, second one's a good actual game itself. My favorite game of all time, games, they're kind of the same game, Infamous 1 and 2. The reason why I say they're kind of the same game is because Infamous 2 literally picks up right after Infamous 1, like a month past, that's it, which, okay, side tangent. If you played Infamous 2 and you're weird and you're confused about how the main character is an absolute god of electricity, first, the reason why he can float in the combat scenario there is because the beast himself can basically negate gravity, which is weird, but yeah, the reason why, or fly specifically, float, Chromograth can just do that. But secondly, if you think about how much power Chromograth got in the course of a week, let's say, for the overall Infamous 1 campaign, a week he spent doing all of that. Imagine what a month alone would do, because a month time skip from end of Infamous 1 going good, going bad to beginning of Infamous 2. Imagine the power that man would get. And I do know from Infamous 1, getting abilities, you had to connect to, you basically had to get an overload of energy. Basically, think of it like that. But The overload of energy technically could come from anywhere in my own personal headcanon because his power is energy. It's not the connecting of the energy and blah, 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 blah that's giving him the power. It's the energy itself. So theoretically, he could just go to that same one again and connect it, become the anchor point again, and just get another energy, get another power because of how that functions. Because, for an example, massive spoiler, Infamous 1 is a time loop game. It is based off of a time loop. The entire thing is time paradox, time loop, time voodoo hoodoo, time chicanery, that general thing. Because Kester, the BBEG, and this is a massive spoiler for a PS3 game that I really want to remaster. Instead of Bloodborne, instead of any of those games that people really want to remaster of, because I personally don't think remasters need of those games, because you can play them on the PS5. Sure, it's not the most pristine graphics and blah, 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 but you just sound like a absolute snob with a stick up your ass if you think that's really needed. I really want a remaster of a PS3 era game. Personally, Infamous 1. I would love to see an Infamous 1 remaster. If not the full thing I'm talking about a whole lot of a full-on Infamous Collection remaster, even Infamous Second Son, to make Infamous Second Son more of a DC Universe Online type of game, because it could easily become that because of the implications in lore. But Infamous 1 is just fucking gorgeous. You really should watch it if you haven't. Or play it if you haven't. It's absolutely fucking gorgeous. I almost forgot to grab laser beams, because this ain't gonna cut it. It's basically a fart in the wind. You know what? I do have a long time. I do want to see how well it works in basic combat, because it might be very good there. But in boss combat, super versus super, I need the range. Come on, give me some boys to fight. Something kind of cool, I unlocked the challenges. So theoretically, I could unlock combat challenges. I might just need another ability or something like that. Because this game does work off of you do constantly get progression kind of thing where it all flows together. It doesn't explain, hell yeah, it doesn't explain how it all flows, but if you just read it and see how it functions, you can get some pretty good flow going. Okay, can I just fart? Yeah! Power of farts. That looked like it seriously hurt. Also, something I have not tried, because I kind of forgot, there's slow-mo. And something amazing, this character might actually see the world in this speed, because of the amount of momentum he gets from a single fucking punch. Hell, this alone, he might actually see in that speed. Yeah, this... He might actually see a little bit faster than that. Or slower? I don't know the right wordage. Yeah, imagine translating your view to you trying to crouch, jump, do that, to how you can generally see things. It wouldn't be this. I don't think that's how he'd function, because censoring everything. I think Superman in his entire body is super, like Saitama. Saitama's sensory is insane to be able to do half of his moveset. Like, his wall of images, where he has so many different versions of himself, he has to be standing still enough to let you see him there for that frame, and then do it again. That's how Echo Images work, and his Echo Images is the perfect version of Echo Images, because unlike chicanery with time shit, like, the Flash uses and different things like that, because it's always chicanery time, because they're communicating, there's more there besides just Echo. That allows, there's some crazy shit with that. And, I forgot to cover this. 1 second, I need to find the sign, because this is just awesome. There's the sign. Okay. This sign is literally the main menu. See how there's game start, options, credit, and all this? This is literally the main menu. You see it at this angle, you scroll down, or not this angle exactly, but you scroll down, kind of like this, and pick your thing. That is just perfection. This game from the ground up is perfection, because it fits. It just works. Sure, it's a little bit weird, but everything in this universe is a little bit weird. And the thing I want to talk about is that right there. I am actually more excited for that game than Borderlands 4, than any other game I have ever seen about to come out, because of how perfect this game is. And I don't say the word perfect here without knowing what the word means. Because, for an example, there is no such thing as perfect. Perfect is just an example or a thing that we really, really want to say is the thing. But this is the perfect example of how to make a superhero game. Not a Spider-Man, just a or a specific hero, just a superhero game, a basic superhero game. You're not meant to lose. It's not meant for actual combat. You're meant to just have fun. That's all it's meant for. And that itself is gaming. You're not meant to actually sweat. If you're sweating, go to a competitive game. If you really, really want to try and hard, do something that's hard in your relative game, like the boss fights are in this. Like, this game is a perfect example of gaming, which is why 20 minutes in this game, I said I'm making a video on it, because holy shit! Can I? Okay, so I can punch directly into fart. That's pretty cool. And if the developer's watching, I don't think the developer is. If the developer is watching, I say fart as a descriptor. It is not a fart at all, but it basically is when it comes to the boss fights, just to clarify. Because that and boss fights don't really work. And I will go to that next mission after clearing out all of this. The only downside to this game, and this isn't even really a downside because it's obvious that it works, I don't know why there is those guys trying to kill boys. I don't know why the red dude in the hoodie wanted to kill boys. I don't know Jack. I don't even know this dude's name. His name might be Jack Diddley and shit. I don't fucking know. I don't even know if his superhero name is actually undefeatable. I don't know that about this dude. And that itself allows you to have some cool... Because it's such a blank slate, you can add, like say for example, Grain Grumps play this game. They could easily, or really anyone, just two people, one person is really all that's needed. You could easily voice act for all the characters and different things like that. You could just have fun. And you could have, if you watched Sonic Fandub, I highly suggest them. They are very fucking funny. It is one of the most quoted things. It's kind of like their bread and butter, but to an extent nowadays, it's just kind of sad. But when you watch the first time they said it, it's fucking funny. They need to figure out other funny things. They are very funny people. They are very good comedians. Just off the top of their domes, they make some pretty fucking funny things. But Sonic Fandub, one of the best things they've ever said, or one of them has ever said, is super laser piss. In the context, it is comedy gold. And I say that because that type of humor, that type of thing, would work with, like, the Fireboy, the opening cutscene. Just imagine somebody with that type of humor, and super laser pissed because there was a big context does matter with this, because overall they were describing Eggman's laser beam that he carved out of the moon and made half of the moon very, very different to where it looks like his face, but because his face is so weird, it looks very similar to a dick. So they said super laser piss and different things like that. I'm not going to spoil all of it. Please watch it. It's very, 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 very funny in the context, especially if you've never watched it before. It is very funny. Just people like that should play this game just to make videos on it, because I would thoroughly enjoy it. If you do make a video on this game, and you're that type of player, if you are even Sonic Fandubs or Game Grumps, I don't care. Please send that video to me. Please just, like, comment it down below. Here you go, have that video. Sorry about that soda can falling there. I bumped it with my elbow. Or right next to my elbow, not my elbow. I have very long arms. I'm gonna go do this now, because I don't want to waste the laser beams. Where is... up here. Alright? Where... hello? There you are. Okay. Please watch the trailer for Undefeatable Genesis, because there's obvious some massive hype. This is such a proof of concept. I cannot wait. Purple dude! What the fuck? Purple lightning! What the hell? Purple lightning dude, come here! I want your power. Come here. Oh, I don't like you. You're constant damage. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop your shit. Stop your shit. I need to bully you. There's a good thing I grab laser beams. I need to bully. Come here. And I would never actually bully IRL. I say bully because in an actual fight, you're not meant to get them a chance to do anything. You're meant to get in there. One Punch Man is very good in a very good anime. It is basically a reverse action anime, and I say that because the anime itself is very, very good. It's a very good anime, and it's a reverse action anime because it's not about the action. It's about the courses of action in said action. It's really, really cool. Like, for an example, Saitama, his entire purpose for being a hero is just that. He just wants to be a hero. He just wants to have fun beating up monster asses because that's what he's always wanted to do. And that in and of itself is amazing. I had a point. There we go. I remember. The Sea King, the big fish dude that came out and absolutely did some scary, terrifying shit. That dude, his explanation of a combo move is what a combo move is. That is literally verbatim what a combo move is. You are meant to have each punch in a fight is meant to be delivered with such force to absolutely make them go flying, but not because you're making them go flying. You're trying to take off their head with said punch. If you are in a true fight, keep that in mind. True fight. When there is life or death, this is a fight, not a game, not anything else, a true fight. Just clarifying this. Now, with that, in a true fight like this is, I would do shit like this. I would not play. I would be in his face constantly, 24/7, not letting him get any break in his face. But instead of doing that, when I do launch him, if I do launch him, I would just toss him down on the ground, keep him on the ground, keep pummeling and pulling and pulling him, not letting him move, so you don't have to do this to get back up to him. Just to clarify, I like Blitzkrieg. That is my personal favorite. I am bullying you, and you're still... I love this game. You're meant to bully. Okay. I like this game. If I got unlucky and he went to better places, I would have already lost this. Just pointing that out. Damn! Victory lightning bonus? What? This is genuinely just kind of badass. Not gonna lie. He just not the personnel that bitch. Okay, something awesome. That big ball you saw there is actually a... That's the end? That's it. I thought it was Asian because that bit there... Same dude. I do not know how to say your name. I am not Asian, obviously. I'm sorry. It is the same dude. Yuma. I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name, and I believe you put it as first name, last name, even though I believe Asian, not all Asian, some Asian cultures, it's last name, then first name, but I believe that is your first name. Yuma, you are amazing. I don't know who that is. You both are amazing. The shit you accomplished. Damn. I am going to be playing this game just as a game to just have listen to a podcast on, that general thing. This game is gorgeous. Good shit. And you too, Fuko, and Daigo, Fuku. Gonna wait for another name. I typically don't have this in my videos. I'm having this in my videos. You three thus far, there might be a fourth, might be a fifth. You three thus far, good shit, mans, or womans, or a mixture of both. Good shit. Dova Syndrome, you are amazing at what you do. Good shit. I wish I could read Asian, or that language, and I say Asian, I want to say a Korean. Because of that bit up there, the more you see of an Asian language, the more I can at least tell which Asian it is. All Asian, and this is just descriptor, I am not trying to insult the language. It looks like chicken scratch. When I just see one symbol, one general thing, or one kanji, I say symbol to make it simple, but one kanji, it just looks like chicken scratch. I can't tell which Asian it is. It all looks generally the same because I don't understand it. Just to clarify, if I actually understood it, I would... CEO, there's a CEO, they have a company? Shintaro Fuzuki Hai Dekai Suruchio Daniel Aya Notaka, and I'm saying all these different things so I can actually say kudos to you. Yusuki Ikuma Yumi, all of you are absolutely amazing in what you do. And if that is not your first name, if that is your last name, I am sorry. I was trying to say your first name because my personal thing is I do not like... Okay, why do I not like Asian cultures with the last name then first name is because that says your last name is more of what you are. You are more than your last name. Your first name is more who you are than anything else. How long has this video been? Damn! I could have played this game and finished this game in an hour. Y'all that made this game are beautiful-minded individuals. I will be getting... where is the sign? I want to show off the sign again, because this game from the ground up is just fucking gorgeous. I will be getting that game at some point, because like I said, Infamous 1 is my personal favorite game, and everything I covered is a proof of concept, basically, with Infamous 1. And you're able to change the color of your abilities at a certain point if you go good or bad. It's simple, you have blue or red when you go good or bad. Blue is good, red is bad for your abilities. But if you go bad long enough and do so many side quests, you get black lightning. And his main ability is lightning, which is why different things like that, but it's amazing. And going back in Infamous, the reason why Kester is Cole McGrath, and I didn't actually get into that, timey-wimey bullshit, Kester is Cole McGrath. The reason why Cole McGrath, with just electric abilities, that is it, could in theory go back in time without just adding a new ability, is because if you didn't know, the only thing that separates everything, and I mean literally the ground you're standing on, the machines you're holding, the phone you're holding, the controller you're holding, even if you're holding anything to watch this video, no matter what you're doing, everything you look at, even the air you technically are looking at but can't see, everything there that you are surrounded by is separated by energy. Which is why I love and hate this implication that Sucker Punch actually thought that through. Because the terrifying thing about that, in the cutscene, it shows that Kester goes back in time. The portal he makes, behind that portal, starts deleting. Which means that, in my personal mind, to just use brute force to go back in time with energy manipulation alone, you are literally cutting off your timeline. You are saying this branch is a dead end. I'm cutting it and turning this entire time-space continuum, basically, from this point forward, all this constant energy, right now, into a portal to go back in time to fix it. That's what that fucker did. It's insane to think about, and there's a reason why I have always said and always think of Kester, or Cole McGrath, the original, being the genuine hero in the game. Because he had to see his wife, the love of his life, die not once, but twice. Once by his own hands and actions to make something that can kill the thing that killed her the first time. Like, that dude is the hero of the game. Which is something kind of cool about it. His electricity's blue, not red. He's the hero. Even if you play hero, he's the hero. Even though he does a lot of horrible, diabolical shit, he's a human. At the end of the day, he's old as fuck. He could have done diabolical thing accidentally once every 5 years. He's over 70 years old. He would have done a lot of shit. So, and 70 easily in before going back in time. Just to clarify, because he was around, I would say, like 50, 30 in his continuity when he got his abilities, got all the beast happened, because he actually sped up the process for your chromograph. And this is a lot of specific details, I'm sorry, just this is not specified in the gameplay, but it is amazing when you actually read the lore, the dead drops, different things like that. I platinum that game, and I don't typically platinum games. Just to clarify, I absolutely love Infamous 1 and 2 because platinum that game too. Uh, Infamous 1, Kessler did everything so perfectly and sped it up so much, and how much you actually know, he was around 30, 40 because of how fast he sped everything up. He literally, the person that gave him the powers, he went into his laboratory, and, okay, how about this? Think the Illuminati, think that general concept, but instead of being everyone that's rich, it is literally these select people because they are a royal bloodline. That general thought process. It's not exactly that, but that general thought process. The king-to-be that was on the throne literally just sat down, was about to get the throne. And the reason why Kessler knew that that was the case is most likely, most definitely, he bitch-smacked that guy in his timeline when he got a lot older because he's the one that gave him his powers, his own general combat. I would love to see a Kessler game, personally. Like, hell, even if Infamous 1, there's no clue where he went, he just disappeared. Like, he could still be alive in Infamous 2 and Second Son. Or Second Son technically isn't the same timeline, it's a completely different timeline, because of different implications. It's an offshoot. It's not the same Infamous 1, Infamous 2, because Infamous 2, either everyone's a conduit or no one is. Simple as that. There is no in between. There is no middle ground. Everyone's a conduit, or no one is. There is no way they could possibly. And I mean, they, as in the human race, could not beat the evil ending of Infamous 2, because that's where there is no humans. There is just conduits. But at the same time, travel, like space travel, and any travel you could possibly think of that is possibly related to that, is applicable because they have natural abilities. Anything natural. Literally, one of them could have the power of a fucking black hole because it's natural. It just has to be natural for them to have the ability, which is why in Infamous Second Son, when somebody has video, it doesn't work at all. And I have a series on Infamous Second Son if you do want to watch it. I do explain a whole lot, and I do talk about the Infamous universe online type of thing a whole lot in a couple videos actually. But yeah, it's an amazing series on how he's just playing it. And even Infamous Second Son, but it's really just a good flavoring of Infamous and good examples of how they could enhance Infamous 1 and 2, but they should actually have a good, okay. They should bring things from Infamous 2 and Infamous Second Son into both one another, because, like, for an example, Infamous Second Son feels amazing, but if they do with the Infamous Online type of thing, where you can have a Prime conduit and a Delson type conduit in the multiplayer and do all sorts of cool things, I do talk about it a whole lot. If they do that, they need to bring the menu system of Infamous 2, where you can quickly swap your abilities, because that is the main thing about being a Prime conduit. Infamous Second Son, they actually make two different types of conduits without saying it. And there's actually Prime Conduit and Infamous 1 and Infamous 2. There's Prime Conduit and a Duet. I'm just going to call it a Duet. It is not a conduit. It is a conduit's lackey. Think of it like that. Blood transfusion, basically, is how you can turn a person, a typical dude that's not a conduit because you have to have a gene, into a Duet. But it's the person's blood that gives them that ability. Just boiling it out. There is those two, then. There's always been those two in Infamous 1 and Infamous 2. Those two are very cool. Like, for example, vampirism. Vampires are duets. There is a conduit that is the vampire. That's Infamous or Infamous Festival of Blood, if you don't know. That's another cool one. It's a standalone DLC kind of thing. It's amazing. I'm talking about all this because I have really nothing else I really want to show in the gameplay. After all this, I'm going to call it end on the video. So I do hope you enjoy, and I do hope that this is not just word salad that you don't understand. I really hope the audio mix is good, because I did try and get the audio mix to be good. Like, I actually fine-tuned it enough in the audio. That's 59. You know, that actually evens out pretty well. I did not mean to have 51 to 59. I did not mean to have that, but that actually is overall pretty good balance of values. Going back to Infamous. Infamous 2 has so many different abilities. Oh yeah, I was talking about conduits. Infamous Second Son has two new types of conduits. There is the conduit that I want to call Delta. That's not a good name for it, just like I call the typical people that can become powered individuals, duets. I'm just going to call Delson a conduit. There needs to be better names for these, but I don't know. They not specify these things. But a conduit is what Delson is. He himself is like the inverse of what a duet is. Or a con. He's a con, not a duet. He's a con. There we go. He is the inverse of what a duet is. Instead of having no abilities and having to have a blood transfusion, he just has to touch your ability or touch you, and boom, you have it. Technically, specifically, skin contact, nothing else. He has to touch you bare skin on bare skin. His hands specifically to be able to get your power. That power, though, is less than your power. That you can even okay. No matter how long pro contact you give him, it will not make him have more power, which is why it's balanced to have an Infamous Universe Online type of game where you could have a Jack of all trades, Master of none, and then a Master of none, because the con will not be as powerful as a conduit, if that makes any sense. But something kind of cool is that there is a... Hell, with Infamous Second Son's terminology, because I'm saying this conduit do it, there's a prime conduit, even with all of that, that is Eugene. He's the one with the video power. Video doesn't make sense, but because of what he's specifically doing with it, he's not using video. It's specified as video, but taking Infamous Festival of Light, and that's another game, that is Fetch's story, basically. Another DLC kind of thing, standalone kind of thing. It's very cool. All these games are amazing. I've played all of them a whole lot. They're all amazing. But Infamous Second Son, or Infamous First Light, shows off more in detail of what Eugene can do, and I really do think that they wanted to do some of these, half of these, but the combat alone in Infamous Second Son, I really want a overhaul of all these games, because these games really need overall because of what they can actually accomplish nowadays, and what they could actually do if they bring all the pieces together overall. Like a collective, like... I'm thinking having a Chronograph story and like having like a time branching situation with the opening screen. Like how you can have like the Bioshock collection. We have Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2, having something like that where you pick 1 or 2. But the Second Son side of things is its own separate timeline, own separate existence that I think was like a... I think that is like a leftover of Chronograph OG, Kester's universe. I believe it's like a weird, like, remnant. It's not that, because Kester's universe, the Beast was actually just that. Infamous 2, the Beast wasn't just that, actually had a soul, which is why he gave you the power when you go bad, because when you go bad, you basically don't have a soul. His powers beckon him to do something specific. There's something specific you should watch. It's depressing, but also at the same time, perfect evolution, but also forced evolution, but at the same time, not... It's a very expansive story that is amazing. Like I've been talking about for... going on about 30 minutes, 20 minutes now. Now, I don't know if I have anything else I want to say, just that game makes, or the reason why I talked about Infamous that much is because Infamous, the entire series, is an amazing proof of everything. If you think about it, it's amazing for what it shows. Even if Infamous Second Son does not fit Infamous 1 and 2, it still does baseline. It adds new things, even that they could introduce in Infamous 1 to make it more streamlined, which is what I had to just they do. And I don't mean retcon. Do not retcon my love, basically. I don't mean that, I said my love like that because my childhood, that is nostalgia to me. Playing Infamous 1 again on the PS Plus was nostalgic as fuck. And if you don't know, with Premium, you can actually play older games with the older game save functions. So, I saved my PS3 game on my PS3 again. You can even go through the PS3 menus. It made me smile, and it's still making me smile. The nostalgia hit was amazing, and you pay for that, which is bad and good, but I personally think that it's beneficial to pay for it if you do want to, but also not paying for it is also beneficial. Pros and cons either way, which is why it's good. Is there anything else I want to even say about Infamous? I do want to talk about why I was talking about that. The reason I was talking about that is because this game is an amazing Infamous 1. Cut and dry, this is what Infamous 1 could have been if it was made not by a group called Sucker Punch and Sony and all these big names, but just that handful of people. I think it was I don't think it was 10. I believe it was less than 10 people, if I remember correctly. But And I do consider the music person, all those different people, as in this group because it was only it's an indie game. Literally, this game is an indie game. It's amazing because it's literally Infamous 1 all over again. And that's why I talked about at the very beginning of this video, the video game renaissance. I think that is genuinely around the corner, and I do mean video game renaissance in like the scientific renaissance. That the renaissance that everyone thinks about is. That's the scientific renaissance, the art renaissance, the human mind renaissance is a better way to put it, because it was science, math, art, everything, just boom, right then and there. I believe the next renaissance is going to be focused on the gaming and just overall expression than science itself. Even though they're gonna kind of go hand in hand, because simulation, different things like that. Like, hopefully, we'll see. With all that said, shown and done, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you stuck around to the very end, thank you. If you have ever played Infamous 1 to any Infamous, what is your personal favorite ability, and which side did you typically go, good or bad? And have a good rest of your day.